Good morning. I thought I would do a quick little, I don't know, what do you want to call this? Rant? Not even a rant. It's more like a devotional type. Get up in the morning and allow God to speak to you. And praise the fact that you're alive amidst weird circumstances. And one of the things that came to me was how everything is interconnected. And I mean, everything is interconnected, and we're the ones that separate it out. We separate each other out in denominations. We separate each other out in race, in ways of thinking. We make these little clubs for ourselves. And even on the humanistic end of things, it's nice to gather. But to gather in, say, a church of like-minded people is meant to edify. It's meant to build up the rest of humanity. It's not meant to single yourself out. That's excuse me, that's God's plan. That's God's job to do. And when you start to allow things into your life, is another thing. When you start to allow things in your life that, whether it's good or bad, the fact is, it is things that can tear that oneness mindset apart. That's what spiritual warfare is all about. If we are all truly interconnected, there's a spiritual oneness. And that spiritual oneness is something that makes us unique. There are also little things that tear us completely apart from that oneness. Not that they can't be repaired. We've got a corona thing going down that everyone is so worried about the COVID, and rightly so. And whether you think it minor, whether you think it major, it is what it is. It is a virus wanting to take out a lot of people. And so it's in the same realm. When you invite things into your household that are against that oneness, against what we say scripture, you're inviting a fracturing of that oneness. A fracturing that was put into place for a reason. Put into place because that's what makes everything run smoothly. And be it alcohol, be it sex, be it God, some of those are minor. Infidelity, corruption, those are a little bit more on the major scale in humans. But in the way that it tears you apart, a family apart, a household apart, a congregation apart, it does do that. We tend to want to shame people when that shit happens. I'll say it that way. When it flows in and it covers us all. rather than cleaning up. With God or with grace, all things are possible. All things. And that includes cleaning up. And I'm talking about cleaning those things out of your life. Those ideologies out of your life. They're going to be there. Doesn't mean that we're not still one. It's just they're going to be there. Like COVID. Doesn't mean that we're no longer a human race and can't survive on our own. It's going to be here. So are we. And so, when you understand things more from that level, spiritual warfare gets a little bit better clarified. There's a lot of elements out there. A lot of, and we'll say, demons, whatever, that are trying their best to tear you apart. Don't let them. And if they begin to, why? Because you're human and free will makes it happen. Be humble enough to back down. Turn around and say, okay, oops. Because it isn't the end of the world. God's still got you in His grace. He's still got you in His love. Turn around and clean up. Jump under the waterfall that is Christ, and wash off and walk again. And if you need to grab a friend, if you need to grab a whole congregation to do that, fine, but understand what brought you there, and you're still a whole. You are still a whole body, a whole person. He knows we need Him. That's the reason why He gave us Christ. Exactly the reason why He gave us Christ. Because He loved us that much, that He gave us His only begotten Son. That's the message of the cross.